Welcome to our 5-minute video tutorial for the Level 3 Technical Certificate. In this tutorial we're going to talk about the fan pump, but mainly about the manifold. The fan pump is the device that pushes stock into the flow box from where it will go out onto the wire. So stock used to be gravity fed, now we use a fan pump. And the fan pump is the thing that controls how much stock goes into the flow box and therefore the grammage of the sheet. As you can see, you've got areas where the stock is brought in and then pushed out. So there's every chance for pulsations to occur. So if you're not careful with fan pumps, you can get pulsations which will lead to barring effect on the wire. So it controls the volume of stock. That's the thing to remember. The stock goes from the fan pump into the manifold. This was the original old-fashioned manifold known as the straight manifold or the simple manifold. And if you think about the path that the fibres take, the fibres can either go straight through the manifold into the flow box straight onto the wire, or they can do a right angle bend here, another right angle bend there, through the manifold, through the flow box, out onto the wire. These fibres, because they've had to do all this turning, there's a lot more turbulence in these fibres. So when you think about the sheets coming out on the other side, these fibres may well be all aligned in the machine direction. The fibres that have undergone a lot more turbulence will have all different sorts of directions. So the sheet will have different fibre orientations all across its width, and that means it will dry differently all across its width. The centre of the sheet, remember, fibres are aligned in that direction, they will shrink in the diameter of the fibre. So the sheet in the middle will shrink a lot, but it will shrink less at the ends because some of the fibres will be aligned in the cross direction rather than the machine direction. So you get different shrinkage profile all across the machine. So the idea of these manifolds is to try and eliminate that. First idea they came up with was the fan or fishtail. So you can see there thinking, if we, rather than having lots of little pipes, if we just make it broader, then all the fibres will behave in the same way. If you made the pipe the same diameter, but kept the thickness the same, then the volume would increase, and so the fibres would slow down. We don't want to do that. So as this comes forward towards the machine, as well as going wider, it goes narrower to maintain the same volume or even slightly reduce the volume. That didn't work very well. So they then came up with this rather complicated manifold known as the divided manifold. And as you can see the idea, you can see their way of thinking. We've got the fibres coming here, we'll divide it into two, we'll divide each one into two again, we'll divide it. So they're trying to make the fibre behave in exactly the same way all across the width of the machine. And that wasn't very successful. And so they eventually moved on to what's the most common form of manifold these days. No one would ever dream of putting a paper machine in today that did not have a tapered manifold. In the other three designs, every bit of stock that went towards the machine went onto the machine. In this new system, we actually bring stock in and we go past the machine and recirculate it, and we take off just what we need. And at the end of each of these pipes, we've got the flow box, so we take off going into the flow box. So this way, every fibre behaves the same going into the flow box. So the tapered manifold is the most modern version. Here we've got a sight glass. The purpose of the sight glass is, as you can see, that's connected to one side of the sight glass, this is connected to the other side. By looking at the stock and which way it's flowing, we get an idea of the pressure drop. If we didn't have enough pressure coming here, there would be a lot lower pressure there than there is there. Because we have lower pressure there, we would see the fibre moving that way, so we would know to increase the pressure at that point. This is the Everyone calls it the dilution flow box, but it's really the dilution manifold, and it's a better way of controlling the weight profile across the width of the machine. Here we have the tapered manifold. That's bringing stock through and onto the machine. Here we have another tapered manifold, but this is bringing in dilution water. There we have a valve, and if we pull the actuator out, more dilution water goes in. That means less fibre goes in, and so we will lower the grammage on that part of the sheet. If we put the actuator in, less dilution water will go in, more fibre will go in. That will increase the fibre weight on that part of the sheet. So, a summary of what we've said in this video. The fan pump speed controls the volume of stock going onto the wire. In terms of the evolution of the manifolds, first of all we have the straight manifold, then we have the fishtail manifold, then we have the divided manifold, and finally we have the tapered manifold. And the most modern modification of this tapered manifold is the sort of dilution manifold or dilution flow box for the best control of cross machine weight profiles. Okay, thank you for listening to this video. Please feel free to follow us on this social media.